Hi, Jamie McIntyre here, CEO of 21st Century Education. Thank you for joining our press announcement today. We're very excited at both 21st Century Media and 21st Century Education to launch a new initiative which we believe will go global and help reshape not just the media industry but also the education industry. We feel that it's both the key to creating change in the 21st century is one, we need a modern day education system and bring it out of the 19th century, and also believe that the media industry needs to change and is being changed and bring it out of the 19th century and deliver it into 21st century media. And the reason we have created a media and education organisation because we believe these are the two ways to help reshape the world and make it a better place. And I'm excited about the partnership between 21st Century Media and 20th Century Education to launch and create the 21st Century e-network with our ambitions to take this business and this opportunity global, launching in the very near future. I'm happy to take any questions that's about this unique launch and where we see it heading.
So you mentioned that you want to have a global reach for 21st Century e-network, and I've also read somewhere that you want to branch into America. So why is that?
Yeah, I think, obviously I'm a passionate Australian, and 20th Century Education is a 15-year-old company that was founded in Australia. But our goal at 20th Century Education for a long time has been to go global. We want to impact the world, and we have outcomes such as our targets. We've reached over 500,000 people from 17 different countries now with our educational programs. But we want to really reach, 10 million, million by 2020, 10 million by 2030, and as many as 100 million people by 2050. So of course we really need to grow other markets, and America is where a particular market that we want to grow significantly, and that's why we've opened offices in Los Angeles just recently, and also the Asian market in Singapore, and this opportunity will be run out of America in particular.
Jamie, what is 21st Century e-network? Is it products or services?
Well, effectively what we are doing, and I guess why it's a partnership between 21st Century Media and 21st Century Education, is that we, as I said, wanting to change the media landscape. The 19th century model, which is declining now, of media has been to effectively you hire journalists as a media company, they write articles and content so people read newspapers or read the online news, and they used to, the media companies used to make their money from classified ads, the classified section, the rivers of gold they talk about in media for real estate ads, for selling homes, for selling cars, for people looking for jobs. But there's now been a disconnect, as we've seen in Australia with the decline of Fairfax and even some of News Corp's papers losing money, is because we now, thanks to the internet, which has completely disrupted that industry, if you want to look for a house to buy or rent, you can go straight to realestate.com as an example. If you want to seek a job, you'll go to seek.com.au in Australia. If you want to buy a car, you'll go to carsales.com. You no longer have to read the newspaper to get access to that classified information. Therefore, these new emerging internet companies that provide this jobs, opportunities, and car sales and real estate, they don't hire a single journalist. Journalists are no longer needed to write articles because we go directly there for free to get that information. So journalists were effectively subsidised out of these rivers of gold of classified advertising, but now there's a disconnect. That's why so many journalists have been made redundant. And we want to reshape that industry, because for far too long in this world is the large greedy conglomerates of media companies have been able to control the information and news that everyday people get. And what really gives the right of an average journalist who's maybe having a journalistic degree but very little life experience or very little knowledge on a particular topic to filter the way that we take information through often their narrow and, unfortunately for many journalists, very cynical view of the world. And as a result, most news is negative and not empowering. So we want to reshape that industry. We want to create a social revolution where we make sure by our platform to create bloggers, we basically outsource the news, where people that have a passion or expertise or just their story about life can effectively blog and generate content. As a media company, we want content. And that content drives traffic to read the news or read the content. And as you know, most media companies are based on an advertising model. And so we're providing, with 21st Century Network, a series of e-learning programs as a monetization of our blogging platform, where therefore we're recruiting a lot of bloggers that can generate an income by blogging, and we will share the advertising rewards that come from a media company with our bloggers. So therefore someone can become a blogger part-time and perhaps have the opportunity to earn $100 a month, $1,000 a month, maybe $10,000 a month. There's people that are professional bloggers in the world right now that are earning as much as $100,000 a month. So we're very excited about the opportunity. But people say, what if I don't know about blogging, or how do I become a blogger? Pretty much everyone is a blogger. If we look at Facebook as an example, Facebook is a website that doesn't deliver any of its own content. It's one of the largest media companies on the planet, turning over $5 billion in revenue, $100 billion market capitalization. And as a media giant, it doesn't hire one single journalist. And that's an example of a 21st century media company. The old media companies had thousands of journalists, but they're now becoming redundant and not needed. Because on Facebook, the user puts their own content up. So people are blogging. You put a post on Facebook or on Twitter or Instagram, you effectively are a blogger. You're providing content. The only difference is you're providing content which you provide for free, but you get no monetary reward for that. And you're okay with that because you're just posting and sharing things amongst your family, your friends, your community, your following. But Facebook makes all the advertising revenue because they can sell ads as a result of the content you are helping drive to the side of Facebook. What we're doing is saying, hey, you can post and we'll help you, but we'll share the rewards if you qualify and be a part of our blogging platform and join our media company. And we will share the advertising rewards with you, where you can become a professional blogger, even if it's only $100 a month or more.
Jamie, are you recruiting existing bloggers only, or intend training wannabe bloggers?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. Our goal is obviously, if there's existing bloggers out there that already have a following, then of course we want to hear from them and want to give them the opportunity to take their blogging to a whole new level. With our leading edge blogging platform and our applications that we're developing and soon will release to the marketplace, we will be able to help them expand their reach and grow their community. But also, many bloggers are very good bloggers, but they're not making a lot of income because they don't have a way to monetize that. And we're providing them with a platform not only to help them reach more people in blogging, but provide them with a back-end platform where they can earn a very good income. Additional income, and some will become full-time incomes by simply focusing on their passion and continue to provide content. As a media company, we want their content, but we're saying we'd love your content. We'd love to help you take your story about your life or your interest, whatever you're passionate about, and help you spread that to the world. But in return, we're going to provide you and share with you an income from the advertising that's generated as a result of that. But also we are happy to recruit and train newbie bloggers or wannabe bloggers. As I said before, everyone is effectively a blogger, whether they make a post on Facebook, you are now a blogger. But we're going to provide with our low-cost training and our platform to help brand new newbies become bloggers. Because we believe that everyone has a unique gift, has a unique story to be shared and to be expressed and to be heard. And we would rather, and I myself as a consumer of media, I would rather go and learn and get my news and education information from passionate bloggers that have a certain expertise in a particular hobby or niche or whatever it is, then go and have to read an article by a journalist that may not be passionate about that particular topic, may have very little life experience about that particular topic, is just writing because they're paid to write. Does it make sense? So therefore, instead of the news being controlled, which is, I believe, is highly manipulated, and most people would, and very biased with agendas by many of these greedy corporate media proprietors, We're going to now reshape that and help accelerate the reshaping of that by making information available and out there and give people the opportunity to share in the billions and billions of dollars that these large, greedy corporate media companies that dominate the world are making. And we want to disrupt that industry faster and quicker and share those billions of dollars that are available to the everyday person that wants to share and talk about whatever they're interested in.
Jamie, you've touched on bloggers monetizing their work. How would the advertising sales split work?
Yeah, a good question. So it probably need a little bit more time to answer in detail, but effectively right now, if people are blogging, they're building up a community. You know, like they're on Facebook, they're providing content for their community of followers, whether it's their family and friends. But as I said, Facebook will then have their ads there, and they're not sharing any of that with you if you're a blogger. On our platforms, by sharing that information, and our platforms will help drive SEO traffic and drive more and more traffic to your blog posts. Then people become involved in the advertising banners that are available there, and the 21st, in particular, the 21st Century e-network of e-learning programs that people find out about from the blogging platform, and many of them will want to, part of that is training people how to be bloggers, for instance, from as little as $27 a month. So many people want to become bloggers and be trained in that. Many people want to access a 21st century modern day education, as they do through a series of our online e-learning programs. Those rewards are shared very generously with the blogger, as much as 100% commissions on some of those e-learning programs are shared with the blogger. And also, you know, so what we're basically saying is the advertising and sales revenue generated from that traffic, we're giving up to 100% of that back to the blogger. So it can provide quite an instant income for a blogger. And quite a lucrative income as they're trained and learn how to grow their community of followers. And I'm really excited for that because it's helping people. It's a very free enterprise system, and it's helping pretty much anyone that has a passion or has an interest and about any particular topic. You know, and we want people to focus on what they're passionate about when they're blogging, and what their perhaps expertise is or their life story. There's unlimited things people can blog about. But we're happy to share and reward a large amount of that because, one, as an educational organisation, we want to see our e-learning educational programs available to people around the world because that is one way we believe we can make a positive impact on the world, and the other way is by reshaping the media industry and outsourcing, instead of hiring a lot of journalists, outsourcing to bloggers around the world to participate in that revolution of the media landscape.
Launch of 21st Century e-network, what do you think the future of mainstream media like Fairfax or News Corp will be in the next 10 to 20 years?
Yeah, I think it's a good question, and no one can predict the future, but I think you want to see the trends, and there's writing is already on the wall. In Australia, you know, Fairfax used to be a $10 billion company. It's now worth a little bit over $1 billion in rapid decline, and they are sacking journalists and staff left, right and centre. They're being made redundant in droves. To give you an example, realestate.com.au, seek.com.au, the online job ad recruitment company, carsales.com. These were minnows not that long ago, but their valuation as a group of companies is now in excess of $10 billion. So what's happened to media companies around the world, not just Fairfax as an example, they've gone from a $10 billion organization to shrunk to like less than 10% of the original value, where you've seen these internet companies they've taken that advertising revenue and become worth more than $10 billion. And it's not just Fairfax, News Corp in Australia and England and the US and other media organisations have seen loss-making newspapers because the 19th century model that served them for so long is being disrupted once again by the internet, which is disrupting industry after industry. So I'm going to suggest that, which is good for the world, is that those media companies that fail to adjust are going to suffer significant declines. Now, some of the smarter ones like News Corp have started buying some of these new internet sites and ridden that rise, where some of the arrogant ones or poorly managed ones, and Fairfax, I have to say, is one of those, have missed that boat, and now they're struggling to keep up. And they won't, because at the end of the day, I'm willing to bet that the future, the way that we will get our news, is through independent news sites, is through bloggers. because we would rather trust someone that is passionate about a topic, someone that has real life expertise in a particular topic, than a cynical, jaded journalist that's doing it just for a job. And many of these journalists, I'm not saying there's not good journalists out there, even the good ones often aren't able to say it how it is because they have senior editors that filter and dictate and control what you as a consumer can read in the news. So it's manipulated through a small focus, and that's not healthy for the world. We want to see a diversity of news, and we're going to help provide that platform. And with companies such as Google and Facebook that have been extraordinarily successful, and others, is already helping reshape that, and we just want to play our small part in that. But you remember the media revenue of not just in Australia but in countries around the world is massive. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars locked up in that industry, and that's being leaked to smaller digital media companies. And if we just took a small slice of that massive pie just from the media advertising revenue, a small slice could be $1 billion company, and shared that $1 billion, 100% of that revenue would be paid out to our bloggers. It would be massive. Even only 10% of that is massive opportunity for people around the world to join 21st Century Media and be a blogger on our platform. Not to mention the opportunity of the educational industry, as I no longer, even though I've been involved in politics, I have little faith in governments ever delivering a real life modern day education that we should have got at school, because as Albert Einstein clearly said, the same level of thinking that created the problem is not the same level of thinking that will be required to solve the problem. So bureaucrats have created many of the problems in our failed education systems at school and Western society, and they are not going to be the ones that solve it. It's going to be free enterprise and opportunity like this, where we spread our education, real life education, taught by those with PhD and results around the world. And just on that, I mean, some of our guest lecturers at 21st Century Education over the last 15 years have been, people such as Sir Richard Branson, the billionaire founder of Virgin. People such as Tim Ferriss, author of 4 Hour Workweek, New York Times bestseller. People such as Randy Zuckerberg, former Facebook executive, sister of Mark. Harry Dent, leading economist from the United States. A whole host of people that we bring in with real life experience. Who would you rather learn of in a modern day education about, say, business? Someone that can teach theory at university or school, or a Richard Branson. So the point is, people want real life education, and that 21st Century Education, we've been providing that. And this partnership with 20th Century Media and Education to create the 20th Century E-Network is very exciting, not just to disrupt the media industry, but to make available the very powerful education e-learning programs that the world needs and wants.
So Jamie, how much is it for people to start learning how to blog and access this platform?
We wanted to make it inexpensive so it doesn't prevent people. If you start a traditional business, typical franchise could cost $500,000, and then you to hire staff and have overhead and learn how to run a business. So business can be very risky, but the internet has created a level playing field. And it's made of things that are much less expensive. So people that wanted to be trained as a blogger and be considered to be a part of the 20th Century Network and access the blogging platform can start from as little as $27. So it's quite inexpensive, affordable for pretty much anyone. But income-wise, I mean, some people might be happy to, I'd like to be a blogger. Effectively, everyone already is a blogger, but they're just not professional bloggers. They're amateur bloggers on Facebook or Twitter. We're saying we'll train you to become a professional blogger if you want. You'll be able to utilize our platforms and build a following. And people, some people want to become bloggers, and what we're going to be saying to business owners or anyone out there is that your net worth is your network. By building a following as you're building your wealth. So anyone can be in a career. This is going to be a way for them to expand their career. So a business owner, blogging is the way to grow your business. So we're going to teach people how to do that so they can blog about whatever their business or interests are and help grow their own businesses. But in the process, we're going to still share with them the advertising and sale rewards that will come through the 21st Century E-Network so they can benefit from that. So as little as $27, people can be trained, access a platform, and get started with a blogging platform. So there's no further questions here at 21st Century. As I said, we're very excited. The launch will be coming up very soon. For those who'd like to consider becoming a blogger or like to learn more about how to grow their incomes or careers or even their businesses, blogging is a powerful way to do that. But there's also many real-life financial strategies that are made available through 21st Century Education through the e-learning programs such as real estate, stock market, business, internet, mindset, personal development, emotional intelligence, a whole range of things that I think are very critical for modern day education. If you'd like to find out more about that and access our blogging platforms, we're currently in pre-launch stage and will shortly launch to the public around the world. Simply visit 21stcenturyenetwork.com and you can find out more information from there. It's been great talking to you today, and happy to answer any more questions that you wish to send through. Talk to you soon.